Hello, and welcome to the Center for Academic Innovation's Thursday Talks series. Talks stands for Teaching and Learning Conversations. In Thursday Talks, we will focus on one topic each month, delivered in 3 weeks, released every Thursday, with the last week of the month focused on any question and answers that you may have submitted on any of the month's teaching and learning areas of focus. I'm Shay Johnson, your host, and I'm happy to have this time with you. So let's jump into this month's focus of engaging with body language, the silent language of learning. Welcome to Engaging with Body Language, the silent language of learning. I'm Shay Johnson, and today we're diving into the art of decoding nonverbal codes in the classroom. Body language is a powerful yet often overlooked aspect of communication that plays a crucial role in teaching and learning. So understanding and responding to these silent signals can significantly enhance student engagement and overall classroom dynamics. First, let's explore the different types of nonverbal communication. When you think of your students' nonverbal messaging when you're standing in the front of the classroom or live in a synchronous session, what things come to mind? We're talking about facial expressions, gestures, posture, eye contact, and even the way someone positions themselves and takes up space in the classroom. These cues can tell a lot about how a student is feeling, whether they're engaged, confused, or even anxious. Now, why is this important? I'm so glad you asked. This is important because as educators, our goal is to ensure that students are not only receiving information, but also processing and understanding it. So by paying close attention to their nonverbal cues, we can gauge their interest levels, assess their comprehension, and even pick up on their emotional state. Let's take a moment and discuss how you can start decoding these nonverbal cues with a few tips. Let's start with observing eye contact. Are your students making eye contact with you, or are they avoiding it? Those who make eye contact are typically engaged, while those avoiding it might be distracted or confused. In the field of communication, we say that the eyes are the window to the soul, which means that they hold a great deal of information. So the way that we use eye contact can give primary insight to our focus and feelings. Don't get me wrong. All eye contact avoidance does not mean a lack of engagement, and all eye contact doesn't necessarily mean engagement either. A lack of eye contact could communicate nervousness, but it is a point of reference that you can use to gain more information. If a student's eyes seem avoidant, get curious about what their focus seems to be on and get more information before jumping to conclusions. Next, watch for posture changes. Consider slouching, leaning back, crossing the arms. All those can indicate disinterest or discomfort, whereas leaning forward usually signals interest and engagement. Posture can tell us a lot about student engagement. Next, notice their facial expressions. A student's facial expressions can reveal confusion, frustration, enthusiasm, interest. Are they nodding in agreement, or do they have furrowed brows? These are all key indicators of their comprehension. Now, while we only covered 3 nonverbal cues, this is a good starting place. By being mindful of these nonverbal signals, you can adjust your teaching approach in real time to better meet your students' needs. Observe, get curious, ask questions, and seek clarification to best interpret nonverbal cues for accuracy, and then adapt to meet your students' needs, as the goal of all communication is for the message sent to be the message received in the manner intended. So utilize nonverbal cues to assist you in your desire to best tend to and assist your students. Now, it's not enough to get insight or information without applying it. So I have a task for you to complete this week as you work to practice decoding nonverbal cues. Your task is a student observation exercise. You ready? Good. This is a 4-step process. You will observe, take notes, reflect, and then consider what adaptations may be helpful. So, first, you're going to choose one of your upcoming classes to focus on for this exercise. Once you've gotten your class selected, I want you to observe student body language. So during the class, make a conscious effort to observe the nonverbal cues of your students throughout different points of the class session. Pay attention to their eye contact, posture, facial expressions, and gestures. After you observe, you will take notes. Write down specific observations that indicate levels of interest, engagement, or confusion. For example, You might note how a student who leans forward during discussion seems more engaged, or how a student who avoids eye contact may be struggling with the material. You may also observe that a student whose body language is contradictory, seemingly leaning back in a chair, but has key contributions to the discussion, may actually be interested. And so that's a key element to note if there is a contradiction that actually yields a different message. Next, reflect on your notes after class. Ask yourself how these observations correlate with your students' participation and understanding. Did you notice any patterns? How do you know that your interpretations are accurate? How did you get curious about what you were observing? Then lastly, consider how you might adjust your teaching and engage with students differently based on these observations in future classes. Well, that's it for today's episode on decoding nonverbal cues. I've enjoyed our time together. And I hope that you join me next week as we continue this series of engaging with body language, the silent language of learning. And then we'll explore how your body language as an instructor can shape the classroom experience. See you there.